welcome back to Ikai Se Anant. I'm Sneha and I know you cannot see me right now. I'll be meeting you by the end of the video. Now this is my new setup and I'm trying my best to embrace technology, frankly speaking. Bear with me if there are some mistakes or imperfections. I know with time I will get better. Thought let's just get started. So in the last video, if you remember, and we are doing the course of modern algebra if you are first time viewer. So in the last video we did types of relations, and in the types of relation basically we talked about four type, or we called them relation A, type B, type C and type D. Now if you remember, type A consists of identity relation. In type B there were two different categories, reflexive and irreflexive. In type C there were three different categories, symmetric, asymmetric and antisymmetric. And type D basically consists of transitive relations, right? So this is how we define different types of relation, and these are basically different types of relations. Now, and the second part of the video was counting the relations, and I remember I uploaded the both the parts in different videos because एक part में ना दोनों चीज़ करना बहुत बड़ा हो रहा था and I thought it will be boring. So second वाला जो part मैंने उसी दिन upload कर दिया था, and that was counting of these relations. And the second part was more important than the first, क्योंकि कभी ना कभी तो ये टाइप्स हमने कहीं ना कहीं सुने होते होंगे, बट काउंटिंग कैसे करी थी दैट इज़ अ different game. So if you missed the second part of the video, I will drop the link in the description box as well as on the screen. दोनों वीडियोज़ की ही डाल दूंगी. इफ़ यू हैव मिस्ड दोनों में से कोई सी भी वीडियो जाके देख लेना, राइट? नाउ व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू टुडे is equivalence relation, and you know the name of the video was also equivalence relation, so it's quite obvious. So equivalence relation में what we need to do, बेसिकली इक्विवेलेंस रिलेशन इफ़ यू रिमेंबर फ्रॉम योर 11th-12th क्लास ना, वहाँ पर भी हमने पढ़े थे, ठीक है, इक्विवेलेंस रिलेशन क्या होता है. सो आवर टॉपिक इज equivalence relation, and I have to be extra careful while using these boards because I'm very specific about कि मेरी writing ऐसी हो कि legible हो, सबको समझ आए. So bear with me for that. So equivalence relation है ना, और इक्विवेलेंस रिलेशन मोस्टली हम लोगों ने पढ़ा हुआ है या जानते हैं विद द नेम दैट दिस इज़ अ रिलेशन विच इज़ रिफ्लेक्सिव, symmetric as well as transitive. So an equivalence relation is a special kind of relation that has three qualities. First, it is reflexive. Second, it has to be symmetric. And third, it has to be transitive, right? Transitive, right? So if you remember, जब हम कहते थे when we defined reflexive relation, what does reflexive relation mean? That for all A belonging to the set S, suppose we are talking about the relation, or we are given with a relation which is S, which is a subset of A cross A. A is another underlying set जिसके बारे में हम बात कर रहे थे. So if for all A belonging to the relation है ना S, we must have A related to A. And when I'm saying S, now this is, ये भी एक थोड़ा सा ना अलग से आपको it's better to keep in your mind that whenever we are talking about relations, we should know that there is this set A, underlying set. With the help of this set, we created A cross A, the Cartesian product, and then we considered a subset of A cross A, and this subset is the relation, right? So ये basically this is what S is, जो मैंने यहाँ पर S लिखा है, this is what this S is. So you have to keep in your mind whenever whenever you are doing जो भी relation वाला चीज़ कर रहे हो, that there must be an underlying set A जिससे सारे ऑब्जेक्ट्स निकल करके आ रहे हैं, राइट? सो दिस हैज़ टू बी इन योर माइंड व्हेनेवर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट रिलेशन. कमिंग बैक हियर, सो a relation is reflexive if all the element is related to itself at least, if you remember the definition, जो word वाली definition थी. Now what about symmetric relation? So a relation is symmetric if A related to B implies B related to A, and this is true for all A and B, right? So this is true for all A and B. Lastly, what is transitive relation? So a relation is transitive if A related to B and B is related to C. It should imply that A is related to C, and this has to be true for all A, B and C from the set S, right? So ये जो है हमारे पास, this is the definition of equivalence relation. Given any relation, if you are asked to find out whether the relation is equivalence or not, you have to find or you have to check the relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So let's just do an example, quickly an example, जिससे हम लोग ये देख सकें कि relation equivalence है या नहीं, right? So we are doing an example here. An example, suppose I'm given with a set. Suppose my set A is the set of integers and the relation is A related to B if and only if, or A related to B, meaning A dot B is greater than 0, and this dot, if I'm visible here, this dot, this is the natural जो multiplication करते हैं हम integers का, this is that dot, right? So in modern algebra we are abusing, I'm always saying that we are abusing many of the notation. So when I'm writing this dot, this means this is natural multiplication, or the multiplication that we know, natural multiplication on Z, right? So this is how the relation is given. The set is given as Z, and we need to show, or we need to find out, or we need to check, whatever you feel like saying it, you have to check about the relation, is the relation equivalence or not. So is the relation is equivalence or not, ये आपको check करना है, right? So let's just solve this now. In order to solve this, what we need to check, these three things: reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So first let us check reflexivity. So R I am checking here. For suppose I am taking any integer A from Z, then I know that this implies A multiplied by A becomes A square, right? A squared, and I know that A squared is always greater than or equal to 0. 0 whenever A is 0, right? So this implies, this statement will imply that A is related to A by my given relation here, right? So reflexivity तो हो गई, that the function I'm sorry, that the relation is reflexive. So I can say, and this is true, I can clearly say that this is true for all A belonging to Z, and hence the relation, जो भी आपका relation बन के आया है ये वाला, ये जो भी relation इन्होंने given था, this is reflexive relation, right? Next let us say now I have to check for symmetricity, right? So second I'm checking symmetricity. Now for symmetricity, let us consider again, let A and B belongs to Z such that now I'm already considering them related, such that A related to B, right? What does this mean? The simple definition, A related to B, according to this definition here जो question में given था, that this implies that A dot B is greater than equal to 0, and this will further imply, अब इसमें there will be no harm if I'll write this as B dot A, and it will still remain positive, like greater than equal to 0, and this implies by definition B related to A, and hence by this observation, or by this these steps, I can say that the relation is symmetric. Next comes transitivity. Now blindly किसी चीज़ को करने से अच्छा होगा हम लोग पहले थोड़ा सोचें. Transitivity, if we are talking about transitivity, तो क्या करना होता था हमें? Whenever we are talking about transitivity, so this has to be in your mind, ठीक है? ये आपके mind के अंदर आता है क्या? A related to B, B related to C should imply A related to C. Now if I have to decode this in the given definition, जो ये definition हमें given है, इसके according ये क्या हो जाना चाहिए? That A dot B should be greater than 0, B dot C is greater than 0, and it should imply that A dot C is greater than 0. So this is what we need to check or this is what we need to find in order to prove that my given relation is transitive. But let us just say A is, suppose I have suppose I am given here that A is -1, or I am taking A as -1, I am taking B as 0, and I am taking C as +1. Then A is related to B, this is true, and B is related to C, this is also true. Why? Because A dot B is 0 as well as B dot C is 0, right? But what is happening here is, but A dot C is -1, and which is less than 0, right? And then I can say by these counter examples that this relation is not transitive, it can never be transitive, and hence this given example or this given relation, it is not an equivalence relation. So to answer this question mark here, this is not equivalence, right? So the relation was not equivalence relation, right? So and you also have to be very intrigued कि क्यों नहीं हुआ, and the reason is because of the 0. when I'm saying that A dot B is greater than equal to 0 ना, वहाँ यहाँ पर पंगा आ गया है. Think about it, if the relation यहाँ पर, suppose this relation instead of greater than equal to 0, the relation was given as A dot B strictly greater than 0, and then think whether this relation now become transitive or not, right? So this is about equivalence relation. Now why we are doing equivalence relation? The question is why we are doing equivalence relation. So to answer this question, I need to define something else, and that definition or that term is partition of a set. Partition of a set. Right? Now what is partition of a set? As the name suggests, if you are given with a set, or in general, if you are talking about partition in general, right? So let us say okay fine, we are using this space only. Let us say I have this land with me, ठीक है, ये land है मेरे पास, and I have to partition it. So क्या करना होता है partition में? all I need to do is I need to divide this in different parts, है ना, बस और कुछ नहीं करना होता, मुझे टुकड़े करने होते हैं इसके, right? This is original, मेरे पास इतना बड़ा land था, अब मैंने इसके टुकड़े कर दिया. कितने टुकड़ों में बांटा है इनको मैंने? This is the first part, second, third, fourth and fifth. So this is partitioning, right? बिल्कुल यही definition है. It will work for partitioning of the set. What you need to do now, you have to do some observation here. There are two observations. First, no two land part is overlapping the other, right? तो यहाँ पर कोई भी ऐसा part नहीं है जो दूसरे part को overlap कर रहा है. First thing, and second thing, if you'll add all the parts 1 2 3 4 5, you'll get your land back. So if I'm taking this as, suppose this is H, I'm denoting this graph or this portion H, then I know that 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 will give me H, and I also know that no two parts are overlapped or overlapping, right? So this is simple observation और simple definition से हमने किस word से, just this partition किसको कहेंगे उसकी definition से हमने ये दो चीज़ observe करी, and this is the only requirement for the partition of a set. So if I have to define partitioning of a set, I would say suppose let A be a set, right? Be a set. So A be any set if there exists a family F. So F, I'm denoting a family F of AIs such that AIs are subset of A. So this is A. AIs are subset of A. if there exists this family such that, now this family has to have two different what would I call it, quality, I would say two different qualities or two qualities. First, such that, so this is such that first the union ai's over I, it has to be equal to the set A itself, and second ai intersection aj has to be empty for all I not equal to j. This is not equal to j. I hope this ink is visible. So what I am doing here, I am writing ये जो दो conditions थी ना हमारी, this condition and this condition, इनका mathematical form with respect to set. Here I am saying in the first part I am saying that the union of the members of the family, it has to be equal to the parent set A, and in the second one I am saying that no two parts should overlap each other, right? So no two parts should overlap each other. So this is this definition, मतलब first वाला part, and this is when I am saying that no two parts are overlapping, right? So this is partitioning of a set, and this is why we are doing equivalence relation. Basically we have to partition the set using equivalence relation. And the next thing, I am going to write a very important theorem for, I would say, for modern algebra, for set and relation, which you need to do in great details if you are doing discrete mathematics. But for now, this is the theorem known as fundamental theorem of equivalence relation, and I am going to just dictate the statement here, and we are going to discuss the proof in the next video. Fundamental theorem of or for equivalence relation, for equivalence relation, and the theorem states that every equivalence relation, so every equivalence relation give rise to a partition, or every equivalence relation partition the underlying set, every equivalence relation partition the underlying set, and conversely, So this is very important, because firstly it's an if and only if condition. When I'm saying conversely, that means the converse is also true. Whenever you are given with an equivalence relation, there must exist a partitioning with respect to this relation, right? So there must exist a partition, if I'm writing the spelling correct, yeah. So with given equivalence relation, you can partition the set. If you are having a partition, and this is important because given any set and you come up with some partition, and I can give you an equivalence relation, right? So this is for if you are doing discrete mathematics, तो आपको समझ में आएगा कि बहुत important है वहाँ पर. Given any set, if you can partition the set, you can get an equivalence relation. So this is what we are going to do in the next video with extension कि कैसे partition बनता है equivalence relation से. For this video, this is it. Hello, I hope you understood from that lecture, and now I'm recording this immediately after recording that particular video. So I don't know मैंने कुछ blunder किया या नहीं. If I did something very wrong, please write in the comment box. I will happy to hear your suggestions, and we'll be meeting in the next one, and we'll be discussing how equivalence relations and partitions, they are interconnected, and what are equivalence classes. So stick with me. Now if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing me. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much. So meeting in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.